In 1945, a 14-pound ball of metal killed more people than a falling bomb. It didn't explode, it didn't make a sound, it just sat there and waited. Scientists called it the demon core. They treated it like a dangerous, living animal. But one tiny slip of a hand changed everything. The core was hungry. What happened next is a medical horror story that physics cannot fully explain. The air turned blue, time seemed to stop, the screaming hadn't even started. In that second, their DNA was rewritten, their future vanished in a flash. They were already dead, they just didn't know it yet. The ghost phase began. This is the story of the sphere that killed its creators, and why it still haunts science today. You'll discover why a simple screwdriver was the most dangerous weapon in the world in 1946. But first, we have to look at the man who dropped the very first brick. Harry Daghlian was alone in the lab. He was building a prison of bricks around the plutonium core. The blue flash wasn't light, it was the sound of DNA being torn apart instantly by a billion particles. Remember the question nobody could answer? How much radiation kills a soul? We are about to find out. Harry stopped the reaction with his hands, but the damage was done, his body was a ticking bomb. What Daghlian experienced next is something the official reports tried to hide for decades. It was a slow melting. He lived for 25 days, each day, his skin became a stranger to his muscles, he was dissolving alive. But none of that explains what happened on the second accident. That part is where the core earned its name. Louis Slotin was a cowboy of physics. He liked to tickle the dragon's tail with nothing but a screwdriver. The screwdriver slipped, the dragon bit back, a heatwave hit the room like a physical punch to the face. Slotin felt a sour taste in his mouth. That was the taste of his own cells being cooked by neutrons. He saved the other 7 people in the room, but Slotin knew his own life ended the moment he slipped. Here is the part that sounds made up. Slotin walked out of the lab feeling completely fine, he felt great. This is the walking ghost phase. It is the most cruel trick nature can play on a human being's mind. Your brain thinks you are healthy, your nerves are fine, but your DNA is shredded into a billion useless pieces. The body cannot make new cells, you are a living corpse waiting for your existing cells to simply stop working. What I haven't told you yet is the part that makes everything worse. The core was becoming sentient in their minds. The scientists began to fear the sphere itself. It wasn't just metal anymore, it was a 14-pound demon with a will. Every time they moved it, the air felt heavier, the core seemed to pulse with a low, rhythmic vibration they felt. Slotin's internal organs began to fail in a specific, terrifying order. First, the stomach simply stopped processing any form of liquid. He was dying of thirst while his body was 70% water. The water just wasn't his anymore, it was radioactive waste. The pain was so intense that morphine had no effect, his nerves were firing signals that didn't exist in reality. There's one detail nobody mentions. Slotin apologized to the core before he died. He spoke to the metal like a person. He died 9 days after the slip. The walking ghost had finally vanished into the dark for the very last time. The military didn't know what to do with the sphere. It was supposed to be dropped on Japan as a bomb. But the war ended, the demon core was left behind, a surplus killer with no more targets to destroy. They tried to melt it down, but the metal resisted. It was as if the plutonium wanted to stay in that shape. The demon core was eventually recycled into other cores. Parts of it might be in our nuclear arsenal right now. The DNA of that specific 14-pound sphere is spread across thousands of weapons. It is a ghost in the machine. But why did it happen twice? The same sphere, the same lab, the same fatal mistake by 2 different men. Some scientists believe the core was supercritical in ways our math couldn't see yet. It was looking for a reason. The blue flash is the universe's way of saying you've touched something you weren't supposed to see. It's a cosmic warning. We play with the power of stars using tools meant for kitchen cabinets. The arrogance of humanity is the real demon. The real cause wasn't the screwdriver, it was the belief that we could control the fundamental fire of the universe. In those 9 days, Slotin saw things his doctors couldn't explain. He described colors that don't exist in the human spectrum. The radiation had damaged his eyes so badly he was seeing the neurons in his own brain firing in real time. He was watching his own thoughts die, and he was the only person in history to witness his own mental extinction. The demon core is a reminder that some secrets of the universe are guarded by a 14-pound wall of death. Today, the lab at Los Alamos is silent, but the story of the blue flash is told to every new scientist. It is a ghost story for the nuclear age, a warning that the dragon's tail is never truly still, it waits. What if the core wasn't an accident? What if the material itself has a threshold for human interaction we don't understand? The math says it was a mistake, the history says it was a tragedy, but the survivors felt it was something else. They felt the core was testing them, and both times, the humans failed the test of focus and respect for the atom. Plutonium is not a natural element, we forced it into existence, and the demon core was its first rebellion against us. The bricks didn't hold it, the screwdriver didn't control it, nothing we build can truly contain the hunger of the core. Even now, those 14 pounds of metal are out there, changed into a different form, but still carrying the same potential. 14 pounds, the weight of a bowling ball, the power of a dying star, the soul of a demon. If you ever see a blue flash in a lab, don't run, it's already too late, the core has seen you. The walking ghost is the most terrifying phase because it gives you hope before it takes everything you ever were. The demon core accidents taught us the cost of a single millimeter of error. A millimeter is the width of life. 1 millimeter of slip, 1 second of distraction, and the dragon wakes up to claim another soul for its collection. The records of Slotin and Daglian are kept under lock and key, some details are still too graphic for public eyes. They describe the liquefaction of organs, they describe the way the core seemed to glow brighter when they screamed. Is it possible for inanimate metal to feel? Or do we just project our own fears onto the things that kill us? The demon core doesn't care about our questions, it only cares about the physics of its own inevitable, silent explosion. We are still living in the shadow of the core, every nuclear reactor is a direct descendant of that 14-pound demon. We have tamed the dragon for now, but the screwdriver is still there, somewhere, someone is always tickling the tail. One day, the hand will slip again, and the blue light will return to remind us who truly rules the world. The demon core is gone, but its hunger is eternal, it is the silent observer of our entire nuclear history. Next time you see a dull gray piece of metal, remember the 14 pounds that changed the meaning of death forever. The blue flash is waiting, the screwdriver is slipping, the dragon is always awake, watching your every single move. This was the story of the demon core, a 14-pound warning that some boundary should never, ever be crossed. Sleep well, knowing that the most dangerous object in history is currently hiding in plain sight, waiting for us. The demon isn't gone, it's just waiting for the next slip of the hand. Respect the atom, or become the next walking ghost in the history books. The blue light is the last thing you'll ever see, make it count. 14 pounds of metal, 1 slip, 1,000 years of shadow. The dragon is tickled, and now, it is finally, truly awake.